Hey there, brilliant ACCA students. In this video, I'm going to help you get a pass on paper APM. I'm going to show you how to use the first 15 minutes of the exam to maximize your chances of getting a pass. And if you like this video, please check out my revision course at stevewillistraining.com. I'm in the practice platform, and I have assigned myself December 2022. I will use this to demonstrate how you should use the first 15 minutes of your exam to ensure a pass. I've started the exam. I'm going to start in section A. I'm going to hit next. You're going to get question 1, the big case study, where you need to provide a specific document. I will give myself 15 minutes extra in question 1. It's denser, it has more reading, more exhibits, plus a little extra work to do because it's a report. First thing I will do, open up my exhibits, and I will park them all very quickly on the left side of the screen. They'll reopen right where I leave them when I'm done. So very quickly, just get everything where I want it. Big spreadsheet, look at this. Maybe we zoom out so we can see the whole thing. There it is. Okay, we get the exhibits on the left, response options on the right. Here we only have a word processor, so no calculations required potentially in this one. If you had a spreadsheet, you'd also park that there. So that's the first step, organizing your windows. Next thing I'll do, I'll open Exhibit 1, Company Information. At this point, I'm not going to read it deeply. I'm not going to look for detailed information. I want to understand what is the industry, what kind of company do we have, what's going on. So I just read the first part of the exhibit here, and we learn that we've got a fast food chain, and they are operating in several locations. The board members are all shareholders who were the founders of the business. We learn about their critical success factors. Look, their reputation, their positive reviews on social media came from their quality and their prices, and their customer service, and their cleanliness. So very important that we measure these things when we are measuring performance of the company. We see that they've grown quickly as well, and they've opened more restaurants. That's enough for now. I'll close that. Now I will open up my word processor and my requirements, and I will now very quickly copy these requirements right into my word processor. The line breaks are not preserved during the copy paste. So now I will very quickly just reinsert those line breaks. And we've got 3 main requirements here, and they want a report. Guys, at this point, I'm going to start earning the easiest mark in the exam, the professional mark in communication, for making the report look like a report and writing with a nice, effective business style. So I'm now going to make this look like a report. I'll give my report these 6 headers. Name of the business, the title of the report, we can use that. That's what this report is going to be about. Who it's to, who prepared it. And then I have a place for introduction. I'm going to write this introduction at the end. After I've crafted my answer, I will know what I've written, I'll be warmed up, so the introduction will just flow off of my fingertips. You're only going to write 3 or so sentences there, just summarizing very dryly what the report is going to be about. But I'm going to make a note. Don't forget. At this point, team, I am going to quickly look at the end of the company information. I'm looking for any instructions from the board of directors. And they usually don't give you that in the first exhibit. They could, but they usually don't. Now, every other exhibit has the potential to contain an embedded task, an embedded requirement. The requirement exhibit here does not give us enough information to get a pass. This is an idiosyncrasy of APM. So at this point, I'm going to go into each exhibit and I'm going to look for the specific ask. What does the board want me to do? Now look at this. They want us to evaluate whether the report is fit for purpose. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it right underneath requirement 1. Now, the second one. Look at that. The embedded requirement is jumping off the bottom of the page for me. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste this right in. And let's clean it up. We've got 2 specific tasks here. And the first one is good for 10 marks. The second one is good for 8 marks. Now that I've got the embedded tasks copied into my word processor, I can clean them up and start giving my report a structure. And this first one, the board wants us to evaluate something. So I know right away the professional skill attached to this will be A&D, analysis and evaluation. So I need to ensure that I take an objective look at this report, pros and cons, and let me give an overall comment. So right now, I can just give my report these sections: pros, cons, overall. And I can look at the marks. 14 marks. 1/2 of 14 is 7. And so 7 marks would be the bare minimum. But we need a little buffer. Maybe the marking team won't agree with all of our ideas. So let me add 2 to that. So let's say 9 ideas I'm going for here. Let's go to the next one. And the board would like us to explain. Okay, that's a lower level verb. So now we don't really need to express so much judgment there. What are these difficulties? First verb, explain the difficulties, and then advise on the problems. So let's do this. Let's make one section, difficulties. Difficulties interpreting data. The second idea, here we're going to have to demonstrate some business acumen. We're going to have to recommend and evaluate possible alternative methods to assessing the area of cleanliness. We got 8 marks, so 1/2 of 8 is 4. So can we get 6 ideas here? And the second idea, I'll do my subheadings after I've read the exhibits. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to find. So it's okay, I'm going to leave this one as it is. When I get into the exhibits, then I can give part 2 more potential structure. Now for part 3, 8 marks, we need to evaluate the proposal. So let's just change this to evaluation of proposal. And we know it's transfer pricing, so we have objectives of a transfer pricing policy. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to use my technical knowledge here. I know that a transfer pricing policy should have goal congruence. It should provide for fair assessment. It should promote autonomous decision-making. And it should minimize our tax. And overall, goal congruence, that's about promoting profit maximization for group. Am I going to use these headings when I'm all done? Maybe I'll change them, but it's just a starting place for me. I'm already thinking now in the back burner of my mind about how I'm going to evaluate a transfer pricing proposal. Now, let's go to these professional marks. Professional marks will be awarded for communication. You're going to get the communication marks by making the report look like a report with the headings, with the introduction, with that report header, by writing with a concise, simple business style, answering the questions that are asked. Don't drift into any massive academic definitions of things. If you do all of that, you're going to get comfortable passing communication marks. Analysis and evaluation. Here, we're going to take an objective position. When we see analyze, assess, evaluate, we are going to look at both sides of the argument. We're going to look at pros, we're going to look at cons, and we are then going to draw a conclusion. Scepticism. Now, here, we don't know exactly at this point which requirement's going to have skepticism. It might be on the evaluation of the transfer pricing proposal. It could be on the problems with the data. So we're not going to be afraid to take a critical view when we find areas that can be improved. Okay? We're going to take a challenging tone when required. Commercial acumen. Here, to get these marks, we are going to frame our answer in the context of this story. Everything that we say, as much as possible, we're going to link it to the circumstances of this business. We are going to provide examples that work. And if this answer is useful and helpful to the directors of the company, that's our objective, then we are demonstrating commercial acumen. Now, at this point, we've got our answer set up. It is now time to begin reading the exhibits in more detail. As you read, you can open this up and you can start highlighting the important issues. For example, these critical success factors will be important, I'm sure, when we are evaluating the report. So, guys, it's over to you. Now, we've used about 6 or 7 minutes, possibly just getting everything set up. Now, start reading these exhibits, highlighting the important information, and then, when you're done, move back here and start answering the question and do the easiest requirements first. I would do the evaluation of the report first and probably transfer pricing last. Now remember, transfer pricing, 8 marks. We only need 5 or 6 ideas. Now that we are all set and ready to go, and after we've read the exhibits, I recommend you spend 1.5 minutes per mark as a guide to how much time you should spend on each of these requirements. So for part 1, we got 14 marks, 14 times 1.5. So that'll be 14 plus 7. That'll be 21 minutes, guys. APM team, that's my advice for how to use the first 15 minutes of the exam. If you found this video useful, you could subscribe to my channel and you can check out this playlist right here that has all of my APM videos ready for you to watch. Alrighty guys, good luck on your upcoming exam.